I should probably change. GLAMOROUS. I'm talking about first class up in the sky. Fuck, I'm late. The thing is, there's someone who's going to listen to this VOD and is not going to understand why I started singing glamorous. But just, I want you to understand that I'm tired and I love you. Okay, these are the things I need you to understand. What the hell was I going to talk about? Do, 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 do. Oh shit! I forgot to get the links and all the other stuff. Oh wait, let's make sure this connects. Oh no! Oh no! I forgot to do like the bare minimum part of my fucking bullshit job. Uh Truly, this is a Game of Thrones, isn't it? Okay, cool. First, second, what? I don't know why your name is so long and why it goes that way, but God bless? Question mark. Hey guys. Ooh, TV/web. I'm literally doing the social posting part of my job. Look at me, guys. Aren't I so responsible and amazing? Doesn't this make you want to make me into a waifu today? Why are you early? Because I started late. You're early because I started late. Okay, fine, fine. Everyone needs to know my failure as a person. Here's the truth. I started late. It was my fault. No one else's fault. I'm sorry. I'm not going to change. By the way, just as a heads up. Um, Thought I'd just make that clear. Jesus. Like and subscribe. Ron Paul 2012. No, I need to stop. Thank you. I am a disgrace today. I'm actually I feel like I'm laying the side down, you know? I feel like I'm laying the side down, you know? I've just been really busy today. It's like been a long day. And like the contest entry winners, I finished reading them this morning. So I have like I'm late on that too. So I'm not particularly, as the kids would say, very well pleased with myself. I'm not very well pleased with that. Um, so that is the thing. Um, okay. So here's the funny thing. the thing I use to the thing I use make to render my avatar hasn't been on, but my avatar's been working somehow. I have no idea how that happened. What I do know is that some say blah blah blah. All we know is he's called this thing. What I do know is that I'm confused. That's what I wanted to say. Um, God, I need to figure out if something's wrong with me because that is not a normal way to like approach reality. I just started quoting freaking this stupid show. Sometimes I doubt your commitment to sparkle motion. Yeah, me too. Sometimes I doubt my commitment to sparkle motion. You know. Damn, guys, if you love me, don't. By the way, but if you pretended like you did, I recommend. Oh, this is how. I love how I've missed one piece of news and it was in the Discord this whole time. I love that. And I didn't even, that could have been today's title. Fuck. 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 I'd given up so much hope on that happening. I got told 5 separate times that it wasn't happening. Okay, cool. Oh, that would have been such a fucking baller. That would have been such a baller fucking thing. Oh, God, you guys suck. You guys suck because no one pinged me. It's fine. You'll see the news. I'll talk about it in a bit. If people who are like very confused what I'm talking about, don't worry. I'll talk about it in a second. Okay. Oh, that's from December. Okay. I was like, when is that news from? When is that message from? Okay. I'm pissed. I didn't get to capitalize on Lore Olympus news. I'm pissed. Do you know how much? Listen, if I was a worse guy, Lore Olympus would be my number one clickbaited thing. Every character would be in every thumbnail, but I'm not. So I don't do that. But frankly, this was the one day I could have done that. Do I just redesign my thumbnail right now? Do I just redesign the thumbnail right now as we speak? Like I can just fucking do it. Oh God, I hate all of you. Nobody told me that this was happening. I said, like, you all told me. I wasn't paying attention. If people were confused, it's the Lore Olympus anime. I wasn't paying attention that it was happening. And so I missed the news because, I'm an idiot. What's new? What is, in fact, new? Cool. Oh, I'm gonna make a new thumbnail. I know I'm blaming you because it's my fault. Because I'm just upset. I'm upset because I expect you guys to ping me in it and do like 35% of my job for me. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, as the truth is I just wanted you guys to do my work for me. Okay, because I had given up hope on this anime. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you now exactly why I've given up. You know what? Fuck it. We're doing it live. I'm gonna skip to this is the stream ending screen. It shouldn't be that screen. I'm gonna skip to the main screen. I'm gonna do the intro. I'm going to talk about the Lore Olympus thing first, okay? Lore Olympus thing first. Don't come back in an hour, you SOB. There's nothing to come back in an hour for. All right, I'm not even going to stream that long tonight. I say that every time, and then I end up streaming for like 2 hours anyway. So really, what the fuck does not that long mean anymore? Who am I? Like, fuck. I shouldn't ask questions like that of myself anymore. That's going to stress me out. Okay, cool, fuck. Hi guys, it's me. It's your boy Nen. Am I right there? No, I should never introduce myself like that. Hey guys, welcome to the Webcomics Hubcast. It's me Nen again on another auspicious day. Thank you for meeting me on this auspicious day. As always, now Bismillah. I'm here to fuck. Okay, I'm just gonna say this. The YouTube shorts have really messed up my brain. They've messed up my brain, and teaching high school does worse things to your brain. Because I'm gonna be very honest with you. I've had that stupid KSI video of him saying 6'7" stuck in my head all day. I'm just gonna be outright. I'm gonna be vulnerable. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna make the joke, but I am gonna say that that's been in my head. I promise you, I will never make that joke. Specifically that one. I will make all the other jokes, but I will never make this specific joke. Okay? I am perfectly normal otherwise. I will never make that specific joke. You will never hear that from my mouth. I promise you. Okay? Deal? Glad we have a deal. Anyway, chat. First news. I'd always wanted to talk about this. I just thought it never happened. I'm going to give you a bit of a background. One of the main topics today one of the topics that we're going to talk about that I found out last minute is the Lore Olympus anime. It's fucking happening. Hey! You might be like, what the hell is the Lore Olympus? It's the pink and blue pseudo-Greek mythology romance webtoon. Don't think too hard about it. What matters is this. I was told 2 years ago that we were never getting a Lore Olympus anime. I was told 2 years ago directly by somebody high up enough at the company that they were in the negotiation room or involved in negotiation in some point. Okay? That is who I was told. I wasn't told by some fucking rando, some employee. This is like a guy whose title had the word global in it. Okay? Just to make this clear. And it wasn't like a marketing person, by the way, just to be clear. It's the kind of person who has the title, like the word global in their title type guy. Okay? And it wasn't just that person. It was like my other two sources. It was like every individual source I could scrounge, pick up, harass into and talking to me, told me there was going to be no Lore Olympus anime ever. And the reason they gave me for that, if you want to know, is that they directly told me that negotiations had broken down. Those were the words out of their mouths. They had gone into negotiations. They did not tell me with who. They refused to tell me with who. But they had gone into negotiations, and the words out of their mouths were negotiations had broken down. Okay? So lo and fucking behold, I guess, that Deadline is posting an article about the new Lore Olympus animated series ordered by Prime Video. Now, anybody who knows anything about Amazon Prime and its television series section knows that this is meaningless in terms of its quality. Like, it may come out, because they order a lot of stuff. It may come out, right? But other than that, we have no guarantees of anything else. We have no guarantees of quality. We have no guarantees that people are going to like it. We have no guarantees people are even going to fucking watch it. It's because I think at this point, hold on, let me just check something. But at this point, Rachel's been out of the game a while, right? Am I just old? Lore Olympus didn't end last year. It ended like 2 years ago. Someone tell me if I'm just being old. Perhaps I am just being old. Yeah, she's chilling on Substack. Good for her. Get your paper, girl. When did it complete? It's been like 2 years, right? About 2 years. So it's been done for a while, like a long while. Rachel's been done for a while. She's rocking her freedom. You go, girl. She's got her marketing machine for the Lore Olympus books is still fucking nuts. I'm literally on every single Lore Olympus marketing email thread thing, right? And like, it's going wild out there. Okay? They do not stop. They tell you every store it could even be sold in. They tell you every Comic-Con it's going to be in. Like, the marketing is dedicated. Whoever is in charge of that, probably might still be Rachel, is doing a pretty solid job, if I'm being honest with you, of keeping the hardcore fans in awe. And the thing is, I don't look at those message threads every day. I look at them every so often. So that's probably how I managed to miss that the animated series was coming out. Because if I open my thread, I bet it's going to be in there. The one on Instagram, by the way, is called Underworld Corp. So that's the thing. It's not in there. Huh. It is not in there. The animation is not in there at all. Interesting. It's even got like the Weta Workshop stuff. Every single book, every single physical release. God, it's got freaking recipes, but it doesn't have the thing? Okay. Yeah, the fans are active. No, I see, like, if I'm being very honest, I see the last 3 years of Comic-Con in the UK, I have seen Persephone cosplays. I've never seen a Hades cosplay. But the last 3 years, I've seen at least 2 Persephone cosplays every year at Comic-Con. Literally every year the last 3 years. At least 2. I've seen up to 4. And like I've seen them at like random cons as well, like non-major cons. But I'm just saying, like, you know, her fans are active. Good for her. You know, she's penetrated a market that is almost impossible to get into in terms of being popular enough to be cosplayed poorly. You know what I mean? That's like a very important, difficult place to be in. She's like doing really well. Don't get me wrong. I'm just concerned that this will not have the watch time because, like, as I said, Prime Video is not a guarantee of quality. Prime doesn't, and like just because they're working with, I think they're still going to be working with the Jim Henson Company, which is what was announced previously. There's no guarantees that this is going to be good. We might get a really shit animation. You know, and the thing is, they're also bringing Webtoon people on. It's not a Jim Henson Company like project. It's a Jim Henson Company project that Webtoon people will be directly involved as producers in, like active on the field producers. If you're confused what I'm talking about, is right here. Basically, here it says Julia Cooperman. She did the show Colony. Is going to be the showrunner, and the writer and the executive producer. But then they're also going to be bringing on David Madden, the new guy they hired over at Webtoon for their Webtoon production stuff. Sydney Bright, one of the other people they also moved into that department as executive producers. So what you're ended up with right here is 2 new people are going to be added as executive producers from Webtoon, who I'm sure are there to make sure that everything fits the vision of the company. You know, and I don't mean that in a rude way. I just mean that in like that's what's going to happen. And like, it's really interesting how like there's no. I don't think Rachel said anything. Everyone's talking about Rachel. Everyone's talking about Lore Olympus, but I don't think Rachel has said a single thing. And it's coming out as an Amazon Prime original, so you know it's the secret level show, which I didn't like. Apparently, Sausage Party Foodtopia is a thing. Didn't know that was a thing. Anyway, Vox Machina, the Critical Role anime, and Invincible, Has Been Hotel, and now Lore Olympus. It's going to be very interesting to see because, guys, let's be very blunt about this. It's very easy that it's going to be shit because, like if I'm being very fucking honest, Has Been Hotel isn't very good. That's a personal opinion, but I don't think it's very good. Multiple secret level episodes are dog shit. Like, not because of a lack of understanding of the material, just because, you know, the nature of secret level does not lend itself to amazingly well-written things every time. And Vox Machina, look, I'm a Critical Role fan. I became one very recently, like the last year and a half. I'm a Critical Role fan, and I don't think this is, I haven't watched this yet, if it's out. I haven't watched it. I'm not aware of whether it's out or not. But I do know that if I do and it's bad, it will upset me. Let me be honest with you. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at right now. Big news. Didn't think it was going to happen. I mean, like, guys, real talk. Does it matter if it's bad? Like, if we talk about it from the perspective of Let's Play's first animation was shit. But the second animation is not that bad. It's actually pretty good. Like, we watched episode 1 of the second of the new Let's Play anime, and I actually kind of liked it. Did I watch a second episode after what we watched on stream? No. I was never going to watch another episode. Did not enjoy it, but wasn't that bad. Do you know what would be really good about how they animated? They animated like Chowder. If they animate the Let's Play, the Lore Olympus animation like they animated Chowder, do you guys know what I'm talking about? The way Chowder, the cartoon, had the backgrounds that were like patterns, and the characters were just wireframes that moved through the pattern, and the patterns were all like layer lock. Like, that was cool. I think that's the only way you can maintain that color, and that vibrancy consistently without like breaking your hands. Because, you know, Chowder being a cartoon had to do some cheap methods to get through the wall of the cost. instead of fully rendered 3D backgrounds. Yeah, dude, I don't think they should they should do that. But they probably will. They probably will. Because, every Lore Olympus IP development point has been an attempt to upscale the content. To the point where even the books are like so sick. Like the books, there's so many variations of the books. Yeah, Arcane was good on Netflix. There's no guarantees Arcane's gonna be good on Arcane would have been good if Prime made it. And Arcane is only good because the League of Legends people, Riot is full of the most anal retentive individuals in the world. And almost everyone at Riot is like a fucking crack artist, apparently. Even the programmers. That's referring to a very specific person I know. But yeah, like even everyone there cares a lot about the IP. And the lore of Arcane was written way before. The lore of League of Legends has been written multiple times over and over again, rewritten to be clean and solid and have lovely interconnecting characters that people can get into, right? And Arcane was just them doing their final major rewrite to connect their worlds together. But this is different. This is a comic that is done. There is it is done. Changes will not be accepted, but unless those changes exclusively make the things better in every conceivable way, and if the changes are not making it exclusively better, it won't work out. Because this is less Arcane, more E.L. James, 50 Shades of Grey. Not saying that Rachel is insane or anything, but it's just that's the kind of audience it's attacking, right? It's attacking the audience the same way that 50 Shades of Grey was attacking the audience. It's not popular because it's good, even though it could be good, right? It's popular because the audience that it is attaching itself to is fervent, deeply fervent, and they're easily to capitalize on if you can get them. As long as you don't piss them off. But as long as you don't piss the creator off. But I don't know how much say she has in any of this, frankly. So that's fun. Yeah, 50 Shades is also a fan fiction. Yeah, no, it's very 50 Shades moment right now. This is where I remind everyone that I have an encyclopedic memory of the entirety of 50 Shades. I have all the books as well. And if the question is why, the answer is the same as always. Because I was curious. And if the second question is are the books even vaguely okay? As someone who's read them, no, they're all bad. The first movie is better than literally every book. And every movie after the first movie is terrible. Anyway. I mean, good is different things, different people. The story probably should have ended 100 chapters earlier, but it was based in myths. Many people love that. What I mean by good here is there are unilateral decisions that you can... there are decisions that you can make that will unilaterally make the audience not upset. Here's an example of what I mean, right? Everyone views Hades in Lore Olympus as this deep-voiced, strong 40-year-old man, right? More or less what he is. I want you guys to imagine if the person who voiced Hades was Michael Cera or Jesse Eisenberg. Would you be happy with that? You're right. Good is different things to different people, but no. And what if it is the next amazing TV show that defines the genre for 15 years? That would be hilarious. I would love that, to be honest. That would be very funny. It would probably be a very No, I know you meant the base story being good. I just meant the changes that may happen. Because the base story is good to the audience. That's all that matters. They will never change that opinion. No, but I'm just saying, the showrunners have the opportunity to do very few changes. Because again, it's very E.L. James. They can only do so many changes. And they need to make sure they don't make changes that upset everyone. The only changes that will be accepted are changes that are considered good by everyone. And even by what we're talking about, nobody thinks every decision will be good. Right? It would be very funny, though. And I really want them to make the voice of Hades Jesse Eisenberg. Because I keep thinking of that one. I forget the fucking movie name. The one where Jesse plays a kid who does karate. And he's like, I punched a hole in Grandmaster's head with my finger. He taught me a secret technique, and now I'm the only one who knows it. And it was just because he shot the guy he wanted to fight. Anyway. Um, no, I'm sorry. I just keep thinking of that. Oh wait, speaking of Jesse Eisenberg, can I take like a 5 second detour? Can I take like a 5 second detour real quick, guys, real quick, a big 5 second detour. I just want to say to you, very quickly, I watched Now You See Me, Now You Don't, the new Now You See Me movie. God, it is fucking shit. Like, you don't get me wrong, I had fun. I watched it. I watched it literally on my way back from work, in the bus. Okay, I watched it on my way to work, on my way back from work. So I watched it 2 parts across like 2 days on my phone. It is dog shit. Like, there's 15 people. There's like so many characters, and every scene, every character has to say like a quip. Every character has to say like a quip. There's there's 8 main horsemen now, 4 old, 4 new. Then Morgan Freeman's still in there. Then the villain is there. Everyone gets a quip. Everyone gets a quip. And it's upsetting. You just like watch a scene and it will just be like 50 people going, well, that happened. like that's every scene in the movie. Anyway, it was fun though. It was a good way to spend an hour driving, getting to work and getting home from work. That's what I would say for it out of 10. Anyway, back to comics. It's just everybody. It's Marvel movie quips, man. It's Marvel movie quips. It's literally like, well, that happened. Like straight up, it's that, but like all over the place. Everywhere, everyone does one of those. There's a character who keeps just going, I'm the background guy. I like stay in the background. And then at the end, it turns out that he's like the main, the villain's like secret half brother she tried to kill in South Africa. Like, I'm just going to spoil it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't actually matter. Although I will say it's also somehow the most hype moment in the entire show, in the entire movie. So keep that in mind. Like, when you get to that point, you will be hitting the crescendo of the movie. The movie will never be better before or after that moment. Okay? Just be aware of that. Anyway. Anyway. What do you mean, anyway? This fucking vocal tick has followed me to work. I keep saying this in front of my kids. In front of my students, I randomly say the word like when I say the word anyway, I randomly go, anyway? What do you mean, anyway? Fuck. It's actually over for me. It's over for me, guys. Like, I've ruined myself. Anyway, fuck. However, wait, 9/11 is... You know what? No, I'm not going to read that, Konichi bot. I'm not going to read that. Real quick minor side update, chat. Remember Diamond Comics, the comic distributor? We talked about them a few times. They've been going through bankruptcy, where basically what it is that their bankruptcy got so... They've been going through bankruptcy where they were trying to reorganize to be able to run. That's chapter 11. That didn't work out. So they've gone into what's called Chapter 7, which is when they sell all assets that they can, that within a certain... There's like a non-exempt policy. But essentially, everything that's non-exempt is... Everything that's not nailed down by the law is going to be sold to liquidate, to be able to pay debts. So it's like Jover for them, man. It seems like. It's like triple, quadruple, quintuple Jover over there. So that's fun. The main reason is because JP Morgan, their primary lender, has decided that they're unwilling to keep loaning them money. And that the auction where they were sold to AENT, I don't think that was allowed to go through for some reason. No idea. Anyway, I'm not going to read more into it. Just understand that it's Jover. It's like quintuple Jover. All right? Not quintuple, quintuple. Straight up. It is fucking 12 times Jover. Is quintuple a real word? No, I made it up. I made it the source. I made it the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Nano machine, son. So I feel really bad for my viewers because they just sit here while I make the same fucking jokes day in, day out. In fairness, Nano Machine Son is new for me. Never, ever have I said that. quadruple, quadruple. I've never said Nano Machine Son on stream. I'm a giant Metal Gear fan, man. Snake, do you think love can bloom in the battlefield? Based. Dude, my girlfriend, I for her. She doesn't know this, but there was a day when she fell asleep to me explaining to her the plot of Metal Gear. Like the plot of the entirety of Metal Gear. Because she was like, I'm tired, I don't want to fall asleep. So I just started reciting Metal Gear lore, like the Metal Gear plot, in order to get her to fall asleep. I've never done it since. But yeah. Like I'm in love with Metal Gear. Anyway. I know the entirety of Metal Gear lore in order. I played MGS5 and I tied it all together by myself. I know I know like 10% of 40K lore. I'm doing pretty well. Like I think I have 2 40K books in my house. So that's cool. Yeah, I'm not particularly a fan of the fact that David Hayter's voice is not in the game. And unfortunately, there are no mods to put David Hayter's voice in the game because that is, one, not good because AI, and two, he would get sued if we paid him to do it. So that's upsetting. Anyway, back to the thing back to the thing I wanted to talk about. The Comic Awards thing. Let's actually get to that. So this is coming to us from ICV2. A lot of our news today is coming to us from ICV2 because they had a lot of good news I wanted to bring up to the chat. But just to bring this one up, there's going to be a resurgence, I guess. There was a Kirby Award. Jack Kirby had a Kirby Award. There was a Jack Kirby Awards back in like the 80s or something. That's no longer a thing anymore. But the inaugural Jack and Ross Kirby Awards is coming in. It's going to become a thing. I think its first showing is going to be this February, 20th to 22nd, right? It's different from Eisner's, it's different from Harvey's. It's trying to be its own prestigious thing, doing its own thing. The idea is very simple. One, no time restrictions, new categories, newcomer award that is time restricted. That's the only time restricted award. And if you win an award, you can't win for 5 years. You can no longer even possibly be nominated for 5 years. Which means we will no longer get Laura Olympus back to back Eisners. Not saying she didn't deserve them, but that was a bit of a fuck up, in my opinion. Their 5 core awards, in my opinion, just sound insane, but let's just talk about them. They got the Independence Award, the Innovator Award, the Visionary Award, the Newcomer Award, which we already get what that's about, and the Storyteller Award. The idea is Storyteller is like best story. Visionary is like the most original concept. That means Visionary would probably regularly not be something people like, by the way, from the way it sounds like. Innovator is like an approach and a new method of telling their story. So that could be one of a million different ways. And Independence, which is more about somebody who is getting an award because they managed to create something outside of the existing systems and hierarchies. That doesn't just mean without publishers, but it might mean creating something that challenges the existing norms of the American comics landscape, which is what it cares about. Then there are also like legacy awards. That's what they care about. That's another thing as well. Legacy awards that they talked about were teacher and creator. So it's probably more about people who create things for teaching and people who create things as an exemplar. It's more of a life award. You know what I mean? Like you're being such an amazing creator that you are a life award, that you're in a life award type thing. Yeah, it's got an oversight council responsible for overseeing the process that can nominate and vote for only the legacy awards. The voting committee, though, is currently been made up of Dean Hashbill. Nice guy, by the way. I met him. I spoke to him a few times. He's really cool. He helped me with that Zuda Comics video that's on the channel. Go watch that if you haven't. It was probably one of the times I tried to do comic history. I might come back to that at some point. And like 4 other people who are also comic elite. And it's not just a bunch of guys. It is, well, it's fine. I'm not going to complain. But on the advisory board are also people like Gamal who I have personal issues with in terms of his some very minor things about the things he talks about, but fundamentally he is the comics lawyer. You know, he's a nice guy, very well knowledgeable, very good at what he does overall to the people, to win the right client. And you know, it's good that he's on there. It's good to have a person of color on there. Rob Salkowitz is on there, which is very funny because Rob Salkowitz is writing this article. And like a few other people. You know, I'm just saying, this is good. It's good that something new is coming out to award people differently from the way the Eisners and the Harveys do. Fundamentally, I don't think those are good awards. But yeah, I think that's neat. I thought I'd tell you guys about that because, you know, I love that it's named after Jack Kirby. I love that it's a Kirby Awards. I love that it's not pretentious. One of my biggest problems with the Eisners is that it clearly is an elitist group of people voting each other together. It's a circle jerk, right? And the Harveys is not really a thing that people pay attention to. And the Ringos is something you can either bought because you're popular enough to bought it, or you know, you have to get really lucky and get nominated by your publisher. So either way, like, you're fucked. This is different. I don't think there's a publisher requirement to be nominated here because clearly they have an independence award. And so there's probably a new and a different method of entry into this award structure. And I hope it goes well for them. I really do. Because it'd be good to have something that is not the Ringos and the Eisners. I don't like the Eisners. Big shock, I know, but I don't like the Eisners for a lot of reasons. Oh, actually, let me tell you guys something. Amazon is opening a superstore. I thought it'd be good to get to this one. This is kind of a non-important news thing. Hey, Rex. Not important news thing, but I thought it'd be important to mention this one about Amazon opening a superstore. They're opening a superstore in... Actually, where the fuck are they opening a superstore? One second. I thought I read where, but I don't think I read where. Doesn't matter. The point is that it's supposed to be Walmart. It's supposed to be Walmart-style superstore. Like, they're talking 230,000 fucking square feet. To compete with like Walmart and Costco and Sam's Club, that kind of size, that kind of reach. And I think their goal might be to put their stuff that's on the online store in the physical store. And look, I understand that there are fundamental problems with this that we will all experience internally. But one of the things I'm thinking of here is like from a book sales perspective. Amazon Supercenter might become the single biggest and best bookstore of all time. I don't mean this in a joke. I mean this like very seriously. That's Amazon's bread and butter. They started out selling books. One of all the online stores that sell multiple things and books. In the UK, we have more than one, by the way. That's why I'm saying that. And in Europe in general, we have like a couple. Of all of them, Amazon has the most robust and well-organized book sales system if used properly by the authors on the other side. You know? And so this might become the single greatest comic and bookstore in the entirety of the US. Not in terms of you know, quality, but in terms of size, like sheer size. Every book, every comic, one place. I know it's full of AI books. I'm not saying that the AI books are good. What I'm saying is this supercenter will clearly be stocked with stuff they know people can buy, right? Amazon is many things, but fundamentally it's a machine of data, and they know how to use their data to sell stuff. They've always known how to do that. They're very good at doing that. And so it's understanding the fact that like you might end up with literally the biggest bookstore ever. Every possible book of every quality, all the way from the amazing stuff to the shit stuff, and they may somehow find a way to avoid the AI-generated stuff. And if they do, then it will be the single best comic book and bookstore in the world. Because there will be no bookstores even a quarter, even a fifth, even a 16th the size of this store. 230,000 square feet. Do you understand how huge that is? That is an entire fucking Walmart. That is an entire Walmart and a half. Right? Like that's a lot. That's a lot of the store. The average Walmart is smaller than this. Who says they'll have books? They'll have books. Like, that's not a question. They'll have books. They have to have books. Amazon opening a brick and mortar store? No, we don't know that. I know the irony is crazy, but they always talked about it, like from the old days. Like Jeff talked about the fact that like long term they'll probably return to brick and mortar after taking over brick and mortar. That's an old thing. Thank you for the Kanye reference, Hika. God bless. Anyway, they would probably have DVDs, Blu-rays at least. Like if the question is why would they have? Who says they'll have books? They'll have to, because the thing with Americans, you know this. You shop at fucking Walmarts every day. The thing with super centers is it's a one-stop shop. You go there for everything: food, drugs, alcohol, clothes, everything. If they don't have books and they cannot be a one-stop shop, so whether they want books or not, they'll have books. Especially if they pick the right town for it. They'll definitely have books. Like, that is the non-negotiable for them. That's fine. You don't have to go to Walmart, but you understand the point. Yeah, you are special, Kylie. You understand the point. We don't really have superstores here in the UK, so, you know, I think I've never actually been to a Walmart. I've been to a Costco, so I gotta get the scale thing. But I don't get like the everything in one store thing. I've been to a Target, so maybe I do get that a little bit. Like, say what you want to say about Walmart's book section being 60% Bible, but like that's just them servicing their community, right? But like, if a store is so big that it can have access to everything, and it provides them at Amazon prices, which say what you want to say, but Amazon is a bully in the supply chain market, and they're notorious for getting the prices lower than literally every human being could, and so they'll have likely the lowest prices, you know, for bad capitalism reasons, but they will, right? And so if Amazon picks the right environment, goes for a different class of customer, not saying that that's bad or good, but just they might choose to go for a higher income customer, right? And they have everything, they'll have books. And also low income areas often have the problem of not having TV, so books are useful for at least some people. All we got is Piggly Wiggly. Target is middle class. If the Amazon retail store is a giant Target, I think that will middle class women everywhere will literally fucking like lose it. Do we have any middle class women in the chat? I have a question for you. Would you love to shop at a super giant Target, the biggest Target you've ever seen in your life? A Target's so big, so gigantic that it opaques the sun. Or a Trader Joe's of equivalent size. Yeah, Target's mostly like a northern thing. Depends on their opinions on DEI. I know. We love Target. We love Target. We love Target. I want the Costco from Idiocracy. I actually don't remember much about that movie, man. I remember so little about that movie, and every time people reference it, I try to like recall memories from that slumber deep in my mind. Type shit. Yeah, but you can say that about everything, man. You can say that about so many things in modern society, in the modern era. You put a Costco in my hometown, and it's not as cool as the one I went to in California. Yeah, that's normal. The Costco in my area is not as cool as the one I went to in California. I just had to accept that immediately. It was very hurtful, frankly. But yeah, I just thought I wanted to talk about it. Like, look, guys. Forget our emotional and personal convictions around it. This is a serious question, right? This is a very serious question. Do you not think your book going into the Amazon Supercenter is going to be good for your sales? Like, be serious with me. Don't be fucking, let's not talk about morality right now. I want to understand your personal perspective in a business sense. Morality is important to me, don't get me wrong, but the business sense is what I'm trying to understand. If your comic is done and you were being sold at the Amazon Supercenter, do you think that would be useful for you? Because it's big enough where the book section will have to be big. Amazon has always prioritized the sale of books. They're a book company first, then everything else. And do you think that's something you want? Because you might not have a ton of book in stock, so it might be one of those bookstores that's so big it'll be impossible to find anything. I think they will. Tiffle, because fundamentally, the New York Times bestsellers will not take up that much space. There's not a lot of them. After they go through every single New York Times bestseller, they will still have to have an indie section because fundamentally they know that there are book flavors of the month. There are flavor of the month books, and Amazon has never been a company that operates on the basis of what every other version of itself does. That's one of the things that they've been consistently good at. That's one of the reasons why they fucking beat Barnes and Noble at selling books. The only thing that fucking store does, right? Like, let's be for real for a second. This is not me saying that they're amazing or anything, but this is me acknowledging that they are successful, and they are. Yeah, it's also a rigged game, yeah, but that's like whatever. We don't have time to argue about the rigged game of the NYT bestseller. Like, let's just accept that part. Oh, I'm so sorry. The Barnes & Noble sells the many popular items of Check's Notes: books, anime figures, vinyls. Yes. Incredibly, such a diverse catalog, in fact, of items. It could also be a fucking warehouse bin. No, Dan Ray is right. See, that's a good point. It could be a warehouse bin where they just don't care enough about it. I like to imagine that they would put in the time to beat Barnes & Nobles again in physical form because that was their original goal, but fair point. I want my book sold next to a PS5 copy of The Last of Us. Yeah. I mean, what do you mean credit you? Amazon selling your book is like doing retail. What do you mean credit you? I'm confused by that. But perhaps I've missed something along the way. But they do pay the people who sell stuff. They're very consistent on that. They pay when things sell. So if things don't sell, they don't pay. They likely will have to do like an order of your books or have some deal through the Amazon print system where they get to print a set of your books, not charge you for it if it doesn't sell, but also not pay you until it sells. That's likely what they'll do for people who use print-on-demand Amazon. People who provide their own books, they might just default to ordering a couple hundred people's books, a couple hundred of people's books until to see if they'll sell too, and then not do like a return system or whatever. It depends. Depends. They're huge, but you know. I think the other part here to recognize that I don't think comics has embraced the Amazon sale model as much as novel writers have. You know? Yeah, I don't think they're going to operate. So, Tiffle, I don't think they're going to operate the charge you for the books that didn't sell, shipping it back to you model, because it just isn't profitable for them to do that. Like it sounds like it should be, but it won't be, because for them, maintaining a good, consistent library of books where people feel comfortable sending them as many books as possible. That way they can continually experiment is more beneficial to them in the long term. So they might operate a model where they don't charge you. They basically just buy the books. And if the books don't sell, they don't even take a refund. They just send them back and make you deal with the amount of books that they have. Or they do the alternative, which is put them in like a sale bin for like $2, get rid of them, and then not send them back. Well, I don't think they would sell every book off of Amazon. I keep saying this. I don't think they'll sell every book on Amazon. I think they will be very curated. They will pick books that are either bestsellers online, books that are popular, books that are like new and doing kind of well, maybe in the audiobook section. Because a lot of books come out and then have an audiobook immediately attached to the book. And so they might go for that too. And they might focus on bestsellers, then things doing well on Amazon, then things doing well on Audible, and then some indie stuff that they are like handpicking of the lot. You know, I think that's probably what will happen. And in part, also their print-on-demand people, too. You know, I think that's how they're going to roll the game. So they're going to play the game. I doubt it's going to be it's going to be, not that they will be predatory, but it just doesn't seem functionally beneficial to them to be predatory immediately. Yeah, literally, they likely would have a section called the TikTok section. That does not seem out of character for them, frankly. These are the books that are popular on TikTok type deal. They will likely like work really hard with TikTok creators to get like a lot of marketing around their books going. You know? Straight up, Book Talk, sponsored by Amazon. You're telling me that wouldn't, like, let's be serious for a second. You're telling me that would not have the single most views and impressions in the entire platform? Book Talk, sponsored by Amazon? No, not to mention with the amount of ad purchases they would do on the videos. Like, that'd be a thing. Yeah, and then we can get more hit pieces about romance books. Oh, I'm so happy. I mean, Kyle, I have a question for you. This is a non sequitur, but just a random question. Are you happy that Webtoon has added a romantasy genre to the platform? Are you happy about that? Does that please you? Webtoon has a romantasy genre. I personally don't think that's useful. I think it would have been better if they just let. I don't think it's very useful, but they do have that. Cool. I had a yes and a no, so that's fun. Breakup romance. It is too big. Okay, fair enough. Sadly, I feel like the webcomic section will be strictly webtoons. I mean, of course it will be. It'll be webtoons, 4 Tapas Comics, the comics from Manta, and that'll be kind of it. That'll be kind of it. Romantasy is romance fantasy. Put as one word, romantasy. Well, no, the thing is they've always had fantasy and they've always had romance. They just have never had romance fantasy or romantasy as a genre. Yeah, tags would be great, but they're never going to give you tags. Just give up on tags for now. They're not going to give you tags this year. That much I do think is still true. Fantasy, no, it's not fantasy romance. It's romance fantasy, so it is romantasy. It's not fantasy romance. If it was fantasy romance, I'd agree with you, but that's not what they wrote. They wrote romance fantasy. They've always had romance and they've always had fantasy, but they haven't had romance fantasy as one thing. Not Fantance. Fantance. No, Fantance is a shit name. Romantasy is cooler than Fantance. Why would you say that? I'm so angry because now you're making me think of Anthony Fantano. Hika, stop reading my mind. Stop reading my mind, Hika. Actual wavelength moment? Oh my God. Hika, we're reading each other's minds. Okay. Think of something with me, Hika. We're gonna write it down. You're gonna write it down. I'm gonna say it at the same time it's gonna come out. All right. 3, 2, 1. Hey, it's Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. Cheeseburgers? Come off it. I don't even like cheeseburgers. I was not pivoting. I was staying. That we lost the link. That's what happened right there. You and I lost our mental link, and we're never getting it back. The love we once had is dead. I want you to know that. And when we look into each other's eyes across the hallway of this formless bus that we both sit on in this one moment, that the connection that we once had is dead, and it will never come back. Anyway, what do you mean, anyway? In case I vote for Isekai to be named Inselkai, Inselkai is truly a name. Guys, we need to leave Isekai fans alone because I'm an Isekai fan. I'm not an incel. Let me out of here. I'm not an incel. He's not an incel. He screams. He screams from behind the cage glass, from behind the glass wall. Inuyasha is not Inselkai. No, it is Inselkai. I take it back. Inuyasha is Inselkai. Let's go back to what once worked. Anyway, chat. Can I ask you something? This is an article from BBC, all right? And the BBC has found that kids are into comics again. Actually, this is something I have noticed as a teacher. Kids are reading more and more comics, and they're bringing more and more comics to schools as schools have enforced. This is not something that's going to be in this article, but I'm just going to say it. Schools have enforced strict book reading requirements across every school, and they've also lowered the requirement that those books have to be novels. And so kids are bringing more and more comics to school. I've seen several solo leveling books. I've seen several, I've seen several like manhwa coming to school. You know, I even saw an omniscient reader, so it's going well. Now, they're bringing in generic stuff, but it is happening. The kids are reading more comics. They're reading more Marvel. They're reading more Spider-Man. One of the kids brought in my favorite Spider-Man book, Fake Red, into school to read in class. You know, and that's been really fun. People are reading way more webcomics. People are reading way more comics. And I think in part, because in the UK, this is happening. And I think the reason in part that it is happening is because the UK started out, unlike every other region, our biggest comic provider, 2000 AD, has almost exclusively provided adult comics. That's it. The 2000 AD's big item is Judge Dredd. If you don't know what that is, it's literally about a cop in the far-flung future where everything is a dystopian megacity, and he's like a cop / the law, and he shoots people. Like, he has the ability to kill people. Not to say that the police right now don't kill people. Not to say that a woman and a man didn't just die to vindictive sons of bitches. But fundamentally, he's them, but like not as cringe or short. You know? So like that's what we have as our main comic like industry thing in the UK, from the biggest comic publishers in the UK, right? And then everyone else is small. I mean, until recently, Titan's gotten a little bit bigger. And so it's not unusual that like comics didn't really catch on among the youth in the UK over the like 90s as much. But it is good to see that more and more people are getting into it. I thought it was just really nice. I thought it would give you some uplifting news with a little bit of depression in the middle. Because, you know, I can't let you just be happy. Stallone is the best Dredd. No, Stallone is 100% the single best Dredd of all time. I am the law. We haven't gotten... Well, we've only had one other Dredd movie, and it sucked. Let's be serious for a second. Actually, the single worst movie I've ever seen. Like, no, that's a lie. I've seen Human Centipede, so there is that. But yeah, you know, more. Yeah, it was bad, man. It was bad. And also, kids are reading more manga. Kids are reading so much more manga. So much more manga. God. Like, the other day, I made a reference to Naruto. And one of my students, again, Naruto's old. Not Boruto, Naruto. Naruto's old now. Like, it's old. The anime's been done for a while. The novel manga's been done for a while. But my kids are, like, referencing Naruto to me, man. One day, I was giving a kid a detention, and he slowly explained to me how Itachi killed the Uchiha clan and why he did it. And then decided to then tell me that he was going to get me like that. So that was interesting. And I told him that if he could kill me, then, like, good luck, I guess. But, like, his jutsu is weak. Now he doesn't hate me anymore, so that's fun. I don't think he's going to kill me. But I was, you know, kids. The classics are classics, man. Even though Naruto sucks ass. I love Naruto, but no, not again. He can't talk no jutsu. Dude, we were talking about JJK in my year 13 class with my students. We're talking about JJK, and the kids are like, what happens in the manga? Because they've never read the manga. They've only watched the anime. And I was explaining to them how, like, at the end of it, Denji, not Denji. What's his name? Is it Denji? What's his name again? I've completely forgotten. But the main kid, he gets the ability to basically talk no jutsu. Yeah, Yuji. Yuji gets the ability to talk no jutsu his way out of everything. Year 13 is the final year of, like, high school. And you go to uni straight after. But we're talking about how Yuji got the ability to talk no jutsu his way out of literally everything. Like his main, like his crazy what'd you call it? I keep hearing the word Ryoichi Tenkai in my head. I don't remember what the actual thing is. But it doesn't matter. What matters is his thing is he basically traps you in like a universe where he gets to talk no jutsu you out of being a bad guy. And they were like, no, and then we read it in class. So that was fun. Right? That was really fun. And the kids are now reading the manga because they want to see how stupid that is. One of them asked me to read Fairy Tail with them. I've already read all the Fairy Tales, so I'm not doing that again because I'm now going to be disappointed in my old age. That's not happening. So let it go, I guess. Um, I just thought I'd bring that up. You know, it's good news. It's beautiful news. It's beautiful. Um, and it's good to see that. Hopefully, it will stop the British arts funding from going exclusively to fucking opera to finally start going to comics a little bit. That'd be lovely. Um, Something I wanted to talk about, I wanted to kind of pivot to. So, okay, before I actually go on, I've talked about a lot of stuff right now. Guys, any questions? Also, remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you're on the Twitch channel, just go over to the YouTube channel and like the video. That'd be great. It makes me feel better about myself. It makes me feel loved inside. Likes, shares, subscribes, you know, these are things that warm me inside. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's important to me right here, right in my soul. Anyway, before being annoying, um, just wanted to ask you guys a quick question, and this is kind of a minor one. Asking me to get off Twitch to go to YouTube extra, or just watch on YouTube then. YouTube is like the best place to watch, in my opinion. Anyway, just for people who are more versed in Tapas, I want to ask you something. I've been thinking about this lately. Tapas is kind of dead, right? Like as a location for the indie community. Like, don't get me wrong, they're always gonna have readers, but I've just been thinking about it a lot lately. I went back onto the Tapas platform. I opened the app. I didn't feel like reading anything on there. Like, look, let me just kind of put you in my headspace, right? Because it's very funny that Let's Play is on there now, but whatever. Tapas isn't dead, as in like nobody publishes on Tapas. People do. People make money on Tapas. Like, we need to acknowledge the fact that, you know, it is still a place where people are making money and getting reads. But what has been bugging me is that Tapas is basically abandoned the indie community because it's not functionally useful for them. They've in fact focused specifically on their imports and their big budget titles. That is where their focus has gone. The stuff that they're funding and the stuff that they're importing, which is also the stuff that they're funding. Hey, your boy Flavio P1S. What the hell is that name, man? Welcome. It's good to have you here. But it just feels like Tapas's discoverability is kind of dead. And Kakao does not really want... But we know this from before, but Kakao's trying to get rid of its media section. And then they've been trying to AI its media section. They're trying to make it profitable. I don't think media is being profitable for the Kakao Corp as a whole right now. And on top of that, Tapas is, you know, it's making money for people, but the highs are lower than the highs elsewhere, and the lows are lower than the lows elsewhere. So I wonder, you know, like, are we going back there? Does anybody want to go back to making their stuff on Tapas? What do I read on Tapas? What do I read that's on Tapas? I don't even read it on Tapas. But what do I read that's on Tapas? It's Louts of the Count's Family. I read that. Beginning After the End, I still read that. What else do I still read? Jeez. Villains Are Destined to Die, but I was reading that on Manta. So that's a thing. God, what else do I read on Tapas? I read more than that. I've read Let's Plays. It's on there, so let's count it, I guess. That's 4. I still like follow 1 or 2 creators on Tapas, a little bit. So that's where we're at. I still follow a couple creators on Tapas whose work I read, like here and there. This is gonna get me. This is probably gonna get this video age restricted if I say it, but the Tapas comic that sticks in my mind the most is the one called Sewer Slide Prevention Committee. I'm gonna say Sewer Slide because we live in the future and I must censor myself. That's why you need to all like and subscribe so I can start saying Sewer Slide. Anyway, it's called Sewer Slide Prevention Committee. And it's probably the one Tapas webtoon I read every couple of months, like recurringly. I bought every page. Like, I paid for ink and I bought every page. It was probably the one time I really felt like doing that on Tapas. I read the entire thing and I read it every so often. Vertigo, yeah, Vertigo's Funland is pretty good. No, I agree. No, I agree with that. Mutated Eye is like a really good artist. Like God, fuck, really good artist, shockingly good. I'm shocked that you could maintain that goodness, to be honest, and still be sane. Um, I made that sound more dramatic than it is, but it is. I'm not trying to be dramatic. They're just really solid at what they do. Um, so Vertigo's Funland is that. What else? Let's see. I've named like 5 things I read on there now. 6 things I've read or I read on there. That's kind of it. I think that's it. I think that's it for me and Tapas. That's our relationship over. I don't read anything else on there. But the thing is, people are saying they're getting readers on there. So I have a question for you. When you say you're getting the most engagement on there, Django, and anyone else who's getting their most engagement on Tapas, are you getting the most readers? Are you getting the most comments? Or are you getting the most likes? Like, are you actually getting engagement, or are you just getting people reading your stuff? It's important, right? Because if you're just getting readers and no engagement, it means the platform's reader, it could be the same reader over and over again. If you're getting engagement and low reads, then it means the platform is pushing engagements. What about comments? Do you actually get comments on anything? Comments are hard to come by, so it's not really weird if you don't. But, you know. Also, the website looks so bad. The website looking bad still bothers me. Yeah, not always for Tapas. You get more comments on Tapas than elsewhere. Yeah, on Web2, you're going to get that one loyal commenter. It's a big enough platform for that. No, that's fair. I went through my like list of things that was happening in my on my phone. I have all the comic apps still, right? So I went through them and I just started going, let me see what else is still available. I went to Dilly Hub. They've been gone for a while. Graphite's obviously been gone for a while. Mine is still a thing. The one that surprised me the most was the platform Macroverse. So if you don't know what happened with Macroverse, they just like focused on a paid subscription model for reading comics, and then at some point they started involving NFTs in their whole deal. And like I don't really know what's happening, but I opened it and they're still running. They're still up. And I'm just shocked by that. Of all the platforms I have on my phone, that they're still running. Likes can be a useful engagement tool, but like I don't deny that they're a higher engagement tool than reads. So I can understand why you're focusing on likes on them with their likes. Um, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Hold on, I'm trying to find something right now. I'm trying to find something. You know, a platform I've been thinking about a lot. This is like such a non sequitur, but I just thought I'd talk about this. You know, a comic platform I've been thinking about a lot is Uri. They're called Uri. They're made by a French guy. Well, no, he's Canadian French, but you know, he's one of us. They're made by a French guy. He's pretty good. It seems pretty good. I really liked Uri. I got to talk to him. His name is Jeffrey. He's a super cool guy, and his platform is still going well. Yeah, it's green, black Y. Yeah, that one. Green background, black Y. It seems like it's still going well. It's a mobile website, so let's remember that part. It's a mobile website acting as like a main thing, so that's a thing. But you know, it's still going well. He still updates. From what I remember, he still updates, and creators are still posting. As of 4 months ago, I think creators were still posting. Nothing bad to say on that front. Saturday AM webcomic thing. Not. I don't even know if Saturday AM is still a place to read stuff. I know they've had a lot of drama. They keep having drama. And I don't know why they don't recognize that it's weird to have this much drama. It's just a little strange. But it looks like they're still making digital magazines, so that's lovely. Yay. Looks like they're still doing their thing. They're still making digital magazines. That's fun. Hope you guys go check that out. Anyway, back to the news. I have one last news thing I actually want to talk about real quick. It's my final news thing. Well, it's my it's my final news thing, whatever. Fighting game for their characters Oh, Lord, help me. Anyway, it's my final news thing of the day, guys. Everyone pay attention. Stop fucking drawing. Stop drawing. Stop doing something else. Stop driving your car. Pull over. Anyway. No, serious question. Guys, it's been a week since the thing about Hiveworks came out to the public as a whole. It's been about a week and a half for most people. How do you feel? How do you feel about that? I feel like it took me about a week and a half to really marinate on my feelings around it because fundamentally, the Hiveworks thing hit me a lot harder than I'm willing to admit. I got a jingle keys. I don't have my keys here. But the Hiveworks thing hit me a lot harder than I'm willing to admit. Like, look, I know Hiveworks isn't like some bastion of the future or whatever. But like personally, like emotionally, personally, there's no statement. It's going to be no statement. There's nobody, like, look, I'm on Issa's accounts, no statement. I tried to find if Zell had any accounts that people knew about. I didn't look too hard, if I'm being honest with you, and I don't use Tumblr. But it just kind of sucks, man. It sucks a lot of ass. You know, one of the creators I've been following for a really long time, her name is Violetta. I think it's Violetta. Like she had signed a contract with Hiveworks, like right at the end. Like right at the end, she signed her contract with Hiveworks, right? And that just kind of dissolved instantly. She signed it. She signed her agreement with Hiveworks. She's getting ready to publish on Hiveworks. That didn't happen. That didn't work out, and it all kind of just dissolved instantly. And like she's moved on. She's gone back. She's making her own thing. She's on her websites. Yeah, Violette Nouvelle. She's the one. She's making this comic that had like such beautiful art, right? And she's parted ways with Hiveworks. She's not. I don't think she's in with Chimera Comics Collective, but she makes a comic called Lady Faye. You know, she's lost access to her book publishing routes that she had through Hiveworks. Like, I don't know, this just feels like it's ruined a bunch of people's lives because two people, not even two, that's not fair. But because certain people couldn't maintain their responsibility, they have ruined everyone else's life. They couldn't maintain and couldn't be honest. I just think that fucking sucks. You know what? The one person I know who's probably a little happier about Hiveworks than anyone else is Kylie. Because Kylie, you've been saying they bullied me, so therefore they suck. And you know what, Kylie? You were right. They suck. You're right, Kylie. They suck, apparently. You were always right. You know what, Kylie? I'll never doubt you again. You did not know, but you were right. And you know what, Kylie? I'll never doubt you again. No, the thing is, Demi, is that people complain. People complain when things are old and clunky and not perfect. And people complaining is not a sign of rot, right? Like, how do I put it to you like this? Hiveworks being poorly run but being profitable is fine. Not in a rude way, but in a way for you to understand, like, by being profitable, it would mean that someone else could run it and it would work, right? But like being unprofitable, being poorly run, going into debt, something I can't tell you about, right? All of that together is like, even if you loved this thing and you wanted this machine to keep working, it is broken irreparably. And it was, not only is it broken, it has broken everyone's ability to trust because we were tired of people taking advantage of us. We found our own thing and our own thing sucked ass and apparently has been held together by string and glass since its inception. Without porn money, it probably wasn't going to do well. How true that is remains to be seen. I don't have their papers. I would love to have their tax returns. I should probably even look online for their tax returns. Like if I bother to check U.S. tax, because tax returns are public information. If I bother to look for it, I could probably find Hiveworks' tax information and then read about how much money they actually pulled in and spent and lost. Don't know if I should bother though. Crow Webtoon is done by Issa, so it's just going on. I don't think Issa is going. Issa has not issued a statement. I don't think Issa is ever going to issue a statement. I did not ask Issa for a statement. In fact, I avoided asking Issa for a statement because Issa quit working there like 2 years ago. So just under 2 years ago. Like, it would be unreasonable to ask her for anything. So I just moved on. I left that alone. Hey, Celeste. Just wanted to make sure you were welcomed to the community. So that's just going the way it's going right now. I don't know. I don't know how you come back from this. I don't think you do come back from this. I don't even think the web ring is going to bring anything close to what this was bringing for the artists. Like, is this an was I a part of the whole thing? No, hell no. I no. Would I have done it if I had the opportunity? I probably would have, but I wasn't. I do love getting DMs about this. I would have joined. I would have 100%, 1,000, 1,000,000% joined Hiveworks if they gave me the opportunity. But, they didn't. Two, I didn't have anything to give them. And three, and more importantly, I thought I could do something better because I had problems with them. I had personal problems with them. Speaking of no, oh wait, yeah, no. Oh, Global Comics told me they were going to talk to me. I need to organize that. Global Comics directly messaged me like 2 days ago saying, "When can we talk?" So I need to organize our Q&A. Actually, real thing. I'm going to make a channel in the Discord for the Global Comics Q&A. Please put every single question you can think about in there. Global Comics wants to. This is, you guys have anything about what happened with the AI thing? You guys have anything about anything else? Okay, this is an important conversation to have with them. I need to organize my conversation with Chris. But yeah, we are having a conversation with Global Comics. If you're not comfortable, posting. Oh wait. If you're not comfortable posting your comments on Discord, what you call it? If you're not comfortable posting your comments on Discord, please ensure that you DM them to me. Right? Anyone can DM me. Even if I don't reply, I will see a DM. I have a really bad habit of not replying to anybody. It's not your fault. It's literally entirely my fault because I have a problem. Something is wrong with my brain. Okay? But I will see your message and I almost always read them. I read almost every message I'm ever sent. I have a problem with replying. I'm trying to fix that about myself. But yeah, we will get to that Global Comics statement probably a week from now, maybe 2. I'll try and organize it to be one of those. Can I ask the chat something while we're here? This is an important question. This is a very deeply important question to me. All right. Come in close, everyone. Come in close. Do you think that love blooms at the battlefield? No, Hiveworks. Do you think that Hiveworks is a failed experiment? This is a serious question. Do you think Hiveworks is a failed experiment? Like, do we think that the entire concept of Hiveworks is a failed experiment? Do we think that this is a waste of time and we should never try it again? Because, that's often the way people are going to view this. And I want to understand if I'm viewing this right by thinking that, it's a good idea with bad people. Oh, I just got sent a tweet from Zell. I'm not going to put it on the stream, but God, yes. That's funny as hell. That potential for bad management. But the thing is, I worry that the environment, it makes bad management inevitable, right? Like, if you have an environment where money is very scarce, it's very easy to lose motivation and be a bad manager. I worry that that's built in to the structure of the system. Do you not think that? You think I'm a fool? it ended in failure, but it's not a failed experiment. I think most people shouldn't repeat it though. I think so too. And not use the money to buy a car. Okay, Jenga, where did you see them buy a car thing? Where did you see that? I actually did not see the buy a car thing anywhere. So where did you see that? Tell me. I don't remember that being in the document, but perhaps I've just forgotten. Like, I could have just forgotten, which is me. As soon as I did the thing last week, I just kind of zoned out from that. Also, I think my follow-up to that question. Oh yeah, no, I did see that from Skull. No, I did see that. Okay, yeah. It was also in the co-op statement. I just forgot. I forgot. I just genuinely forgot. I'm sorry. I genuinely forgot about the car. I was so focused on the money, on the sheer amount of wasted money. I forgot about the car. I forgot completely about the car. Dude, oh, the things that happen in this world. No, but I think the other thing I was gonna follow up with is but if nobody repeats it, we don't get this again. Do we even want? Are we dude? Listen to me. You ever taken a ride in the whip? You ever gone down the street in an Audi A10, a BMW X3, a Nissan Sunny? You ever hit the streets on that in the whip? Have you? If you haven't, fuck up out of here. Don't have any comments if you don't got style. No, I can't say that like that. I just, I don't even. The whole situation is stupid, man. I'm sorry. The situation is so fucking stupid. I keep thinking about it. It's such particular mismanagement. I understand greed. I understand greed to a significant extent. I really understand being greedy and feeling like you deserve it after putting in your hours and not getting basically anything out. Basically getting nothing out of it. But you know what I keep thinking, I keep going back to mentally is you could have just quit. You could have just quit and hired someone else to be in charge. Anyone would have wanted your job. Not anyone, but a lot of people would have wanted your job. Inverting the mandate from creators all working together to the collectives working for the group of the creators. Yeah, I think changing that relationship would be very different. No, I don't like the argument of artists aren't good business managers because this isn't about being a good business manager, right? This is about communication, on a very basic human level. This is no, because they definitely worked. This is the thing, Tufo. They definitely worked. The question isn't that they didn't work, and they probably stopped working at some point, but they definitely were working. From everything from the outside, you could see that they were working. Whether they were working as hard as you wanted them to do, it depends. But they were working, and it's not a very profitable job. They probably weren't being paid a lot, which is why I'm curious about, maybe they just got tired. The money wasn't enough, and they got tired. They had to, it doesn't make a lot of money. You'd have to do 2 jobs no matter what. Some of this stuff is just the behavior of, the one that gets me a lot is the messaging one. The one about how you would get a message from one of them, and the other one would message you, and they would both contradict each other. That's still living rent-free in my mind because I'm wondering how that even happens. But you don't need a number brain, order brain, structure brain individual. A significant number of people are very much disorganized individuals, and they run companies well. They run companies well, and they also are very deeply aware of when to de-delegate, as in go, I can't do this anymore and quit. So it's not that you don't need a number brain to anything. Excel is your number brain, and order brain is fucking having is the ability to just prioritize something at some point. Corpos do have these problems. What the hell are you talking about? Corpos always have these problems. Corpos have more of these problems than anyone else. And you know what the worst part about corpos is? They make a lot of money. So even when they have these problems, they just get to pay for them to go away. Corpos have these problems constantly, man. Dude. Corpos have these problems all the goddamn time. All the goddamn time. Like, that is the number. Corpos are deeply incompetent. Look, Google's venture system, and I'm not going to get over this. Google's venture organization, run by the most corpo fucking idiots in the world, gave $120 million to Juicero, the company that pressed juice out of bags of juice. Not Webtoon has been in debt multiple times. It has overspent. It has pushed itself. They overhired over COVID. And in fact, that was one of the reasons they had the big layoffs. They tried to make quiet by firing people out of Webtoon Wattpad in a very discreet way that they thought people wouldn't notice. What it is that they have money. When you have significant amounts of revenue and pocket cash, you can avoid dealing with debt, with the debt outcomes of your decisions, right? What you're experiencing is that revenue and cash can hide foolishness very well. And one of the best ways to be an idiot is to be rich. Like, that's the truth. One of the single best ways to be an idiot is to be incredibly rich. The richer you are, the dumber you can be. Microsoft's dumb every day. Microsoft's baby that they put money into, OpenAI, is unless they can get another, like, what was it again, like $10 billion or something, is on track to like going bank, to running out of money in 2027. And they're begging for money right now. And they're still not profitable. The thing is, rich guy who loves comics will still need to be profitable. Was it $300 billion they were asking for? Yeah, we need an army of suspiciously rich furries. We need one suspiciously rich furry, and we need someone who cares about the industry. And they need to love each other. If you guys can find me a suspiciously rich furry to make my boyfriend and or girlfriend, please do. And then they can give me a ton of money, and I can do all the work. Yeah, you need Batman. Isn't that literally a plot point in the Batman books? Like when he buys the Daily Planet, and like he has to explain to Clark that journalism doesn't make money. I forgot about that. That was a thing. That's a thing. He has a Daily Planet. He explains to Clark that like journalism doesn't make money, and the only reason why Daily Planet exists is because he keeps funding it. I'm gonna be honest with you, Ilya. That's not true. That's not the only thing Webtoon has. You have a beef with a very specific type of content on Webtoon, which is fine. You're allowed to, but like you can't keep saying that. That assertion is not true objectively. Anyway, what do you mean? Fuck. I keep doing this. I actually need to stop doing this. Okay, guys, here's the deal. If I say anyway, what do you mean anyway anymore? I will end stream. Okay? Immediately. The moment I say it, I'm going to end stream. That'll keep me from stopping because I still have stuff I want to talk about. Like, anyone know a rich furry? Anyone know a rich furry that I could be friends with right now? I will date them. I will go to furry conventions with them if I must. If I must, I will go to the furry convention. Pray for me. How rich? Like, pay for my living costs rich. Then I can take all of my work salary and put it into this. Like, yeah, pay for my living costs rich. And then I could take all my work salary and put it into the comics. They don't even have to be rich enough to fund me entirely. And I can keep all my money. Like that. In a jar called the Anyway jar. And every time you say anyway, you put £1 into it. Yeah, I should. I should get that. But I would run out of money so fast. I'd also have to put a card machine on it because I never carry cash. And I think that would be why I would stop, because I'd be so annoyed getting cash out of the cash machine that I would just be like, no, I'm not doing this. Take a shot anytime Nen says anyway. Thank you, everyone. They're also supportive and helpful and definitely not irritating. Okay. All right. We're at the end of, we're kind of at the end of the stream. We've gone over all the topics. I'm gonna switch screens and I'm gonna ask you guys any questions. Does chat have any questions for me? Now's a great time to ask them about anything and everything, stuff that I may have missed, stuff that I may have not talked about, topics that I may have missed. And remember, if you have any topics or ideas you want me to talk about, you can DM me on Twitter and Blue Sky or Instagram or on the Discord. Just ping me or DM me and I'll always respond. I'm literally always available and I will always read everything you said. I didn't stop myself. I genuinely, actually, no, I did, didn't I? Holy crap. That came like, that was like in my body. Anyway. Yeah. If you have anything that you want to ask me about, now's the time. Any questions, any topics, anything that you want to check on, I'm curious. I'm curious if there's anything that's going to come up, because then if there's nothing, I can move on and I can go to bed. How do you compete with Webtoon? You don't. That's a foolish game. You just don't. You never compete with Webtoon. You compete outside of Webtoon. You create and you compete outside of Webtoon. You do not compete with Webtoon. You do not compete with Walmart. That's foolish. That's what most companies will tell you. If you worked in retail, you don't compete with Walmart. What you do is you carve out a niche and then you compete within that niche. And that niche may only be you, but that's the point. Entries will be judged soon. I'm sorry that I'm so late on the words and pictures entries. I actually did a bunch of the reading this morning. I'm writing down stuff. I'm getting it done. I'm just behind. Words and pictures is like happening at the worst time in my life possible, apparently. But everything should be done like today, tomorrow. I've also had the flu, so that's not made things easy. Some guy at work gave it to me. Don't really know what to do about that. I still have it. I still have the flu. What the hell is Aura Naoya? Oh, wait. You talking about Naoya's domain expansion? Yeah, okay, cool. I was like, you're talking about Naoya's domain expansion? Like what's his name's brother? Or family member, I guess. Yeah, some kid gave me the flu. Some teacher gave me the flu. Man, I can't wait to be done with this so I can stop getting the flu from a bunch of people. Look, if the question people ask me again is about how do you compete with Webtoon, I'm just going to make this one super ultra clear. So by the way, remember to like and share and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Super ultra clear. You do not compete with Webtoon. You do not compete with the monopoly power in your market unless you have significant revenue and are willing to burn money. If you want an example of what I'm talking about, look at Temu. Temu has been trying to compete with Amazon. Amazon took their shtick, and fundamentally, Temu has been burning money. They make a lot of money, but they spend so much money in marketing that they basically break even or lose, right? You don't compete with the market leader. What you do to enter into a market and to be competitive, it's very simple. You create a niche. You do a Trader Joe's, you do a Target, you do a Costco. You create a niche so specific that nobody can tell you that you do not own that niche. And what you do after that is you take that niche and you sell to them hard. You maintain control of them and you sell to them hard. So here's an example of what I mean. You want to make action or fighting manga, manhwa, whatever, right? To compete with web. And you want a platform that focuses on action and fighting, like proper ones, or sports. You get a bunch of sports manhwa, sports manga, whatever sports content you want. You put it on that platform, and on top of all of that, you name the platform for that content, and you focus on that that audience, that membership, very strongly. Over time, your audience will grow, but you start there, right? And then when you're like, how do I attract the readers? You market directly to them. You make things that they like, and you take things that they like. You can't just sell them new stuff. You got to sell them stuff they already know and they like, and it sells them again. So, like, here's an easy one. iShield 21 is like one of the better sports manga and anime ever, right? Haikyuu is also up there, right? So you got those two. You know that if you own those two, people who love sports manga will come to your book, your magazine, your platform, your whatever. You're done. You got those two. Then you make like 900 new sports manga. You make a bunch of new sports manga, and all that new sports manga is directly focused at those two content niches of iShield 21 and Haikyuu, and then a couple of them are outside of that group, right? You and the ones that are outside. Some of them are outside by a little bit, as in they're the same sport, but like slightly different purposes behind them. Like an example would be for Haikyuu is you would still make a volleyball manga, but you focus on a character whose parent is like was like played for the National Volleyball League, right? But the kid doesn't want to play the same position as them. That's like slightly out, right? So instead of worrying about playing for the kid wanting to be, I don't remember all the positions of volleyball, being honest. But instead of worrying about being like at the front, they want to be a libero, right? They want to be a libero. That's their goal. Instead of being like their father, they want to be a libero. You make that, you call it Dig It, which is an actual manga. Kind of like Haikyuu, a little more gritty. Done, right? You take Haikyuu again, because that's all I could think about apparently, and you make one about a kid who's weak and bad at volleyball, but he has this one particular strength. Done. Then you go a little bit further out. You go, well, Haikyuu is really cool and fun because of the team aspect. What's a team sport people don't know about that would be fun to learn about, fun to draw, and also has like a kind of pseudo-competitive environment where I live? Kabaddi, the Indian tag game. Done. Kabaddi is actually has a manga, by the way. It actually has a manga. This is not a joke. My point I'm getting at is that's what you do, right? And slowly and surely, you will build up a library of sports manga that attracts sports manga fans. Once you do that, and as long as you have those initial seed content, things that people already know, and you're offering those for free, this is a big part of this, you'll be able to get it for free or near cost, right? It shouldn't cost more to get it from you. And if you're offering digital only, it should be cheaper to get it from you. Once you have that, then your only strategy post that is like getting the other content and monetizing them a lot more. They will slowly migrate to the other content. You have to keep drip feeding yourself popular stuff, but they will slowly migrate to the other content. It's a long game you're playing here. You're never playing a short game. If you want to work with entirely original content, then just accept it's going to be much slower unless your creators of that content have incredibly strong audience relationships, which most creators don't because they are too weak and refuse to learn how to fucking market themselves. I said it. Get some strength in you. Eat a Snickers. God, that's the most British I've sounded in a while. Eat a Snickers. You when you're hungry. But no, like if you do that, then like, you're playing the game on a different level, but like you're still doing fundamentally the same thing. You're instead of marketing on the familiarity of content, you're marketing the familiarity of people. Anyway, my point. I hope my point makes sense. And if I didn't make sense, I don't know. Call me an idiot. Cool. That was really long explanation of one topic, so I apologize. Anyway, all right, guys. All right. Any other ones? This is one last question I'm going to take. I want to read one last question, and then I will be free. The snowstorm in America is apparently heading towards the UK, so I'm praying every day for a snowstorm. I wish to not go to work. I want a snowstorm in this country. Is there an audience for sci-fi comics? Yeah, there is. It's a very small audience, but there is. And Basically is going badly. I have not practiced in a month. I have forgotten everything I remembered about the Basically. So, I'm really out of the game. Is there an audience for femboys? Yes. Find yourself a femboy, I guess. You're the audience for femboys. Sci-fi has always been a notoriously small audience, to the point where sci-fi magazines in the novelization environment have focused entirely on short stories for the sake of fulfilling the dreams and desires of sci-fi readers. Because it's just really hard to get good sci-fi. And on top of that, sci-fi is long. Nobody wants, and the writers, let alone the readers, don't want to engage with that for extended periods of time. So that's something to keep in mind on that front as well. Yeah. Cyberpunk 2077, the game sold like crazy because of an advanced marketing campaign based on the fact that the IP is old as shit. The video content was amazing. And remember, it's a fucking video game. When you have an audio-visual medium that is also interactive, you have way more allowance for like people to engage with it. Sci-fi is very much an engage with environment, to the point where Cyberpunk's original version was a board game. It's about engaging with this futuristic world, right? If you don't have all these elements together, people may not easily latch on. Don't be so simplistic in the way you consume the world. Sci-fi alien romance sounds like my thing. I'm not gonna lie. I keep thinking about that dating sim someone made for that game where you get trash from alien planets. I forget what it's called. That party game where you play with your friends. You get trash from alien planets and you sell it. But there's this monster in it called the Bracken. And somebody made a dating sim for dating the Bracken. And yes, it does have a sex scene in it. So that's fun. That's what I thought about when you brought that up. No, not Slime Rancher. This is like a horror-esque group game. It's a horror-esque group game. You play it together with people. Bit of horror, bit of fear. Yeah, I forget what it's called. I completely forgot what it's called. It was popular. It was made by a guy who created who used to make games on Roblox. He was a solo dev who used to make games on Roblox. And it like sold like gangbusters. He made millions of dollars off of one game. Good for him. So you get to date a xenomorph? No. The Bracken is like a plant life creature. It like breaks your neck from behind when it finds you. No. You're not googly-eyed tin cans in this one. This is older. You're in a spacesuit. You're in a spaceship. You're getting scrap to sell for money to meet a quota, and it takes like you get like 3 days to meet a quota every time. Quota keeps going up, so you keep taking more dangerous missions. And like you wear these orange outfits, and then there's also these like bugs that people keep calling yippie bugs. They're not yippie bugs, but they're in there. The googly-eyed tin cans, another one you're talking about, but not that game. Not that game. Googly-eyed tin cans. But yeah, you know the game I'm talking about, probably. You probably might know it. It was incredibly popular, so you definitely knew someone who played it. Like that's... Yeah, that is that other game is Reaper. The googly-eyed tin cans is Reaper, but this is not Reaper. This is a different one. God, why have I forgotten a game that I played every day for like 3 months, like a year and a half ago or a year ago? Jesus, it's happening. I'm getting old. God. Yes, Lethal Company. Oh, Lethal Company. Lethal Company. That's so many mods. That's so many mods for that game. God damn. I should play some Lethal Company again. Might do a Lethal Company playthrough with the stream if people have the game. Get like 5 or 6 people on Lethal Company, or 4 or 5 people on Lethal Company play together. That'd be fun. Use the walkie-talkie mod and a couple other mods. You know, have a really good time. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you everybody for watching today's stream. I feel like I blabbed a little too long. I need to get a co-host. I think about this every year, but I need to get a co-host. Someone who's like a lot less annoying, and is preferably a woman, purely because I can't just be a guy talking on here, man. Can't just be this masculine voice on here. It's got to be someone who is not me, who has a different life experience from me to talk on here. Oh, that'd be so cool if I get suspiciously rich furry that is also not a guy to be my co-host. Oh, if you guys know suspiciously rich furry who is not a guy who likes comics, and would like to be a co-host on a podcast, tell them I sent you. Tell them to hit me up. Wink, wink. Anyway, goodbye, everyone. Anyway, what do you mean, anyway? I finally get to end chat. Why is it transitioning nonstop? Oh my God, the transition won't stop. The transition won't stop. Oh God. OBS is bugged. OBS is just stuck doing this. Okay, I fixed it. I'm free.